Welcome back to the PwC channel for the first recording of Season 11. It is a recording in our Premier Division, the Indigo Division. And yeah, we are already more than halfway through the season, and this is still the very first recording that is going to get uploaded. Yeah, we have not been very active on the channel. I apologize for that, but we are going to make it up to you today with this fantastic battle between the man of the hour himself, Caracasa, making his return to the Premier Division this season, versus another person moving up from last season's Division 2 in Venum. So this is also a Division 1 debuter this season. And yeah, Caracasa is the man of the hour because we are already also competing in the PGP, as you guys might know, a competition from selected people of this league against selected people of other leagues, and we are doing very well in large part due to Caracasa being the current #1 MVP in all of the PGP 500 this season with a flawless 4-0 record. He has been running amok these last couple of weeks, like he's on a 6-0 streak. He has 6-0'd his last opponents in the PGP as well as the last 2 opponents in the PwC regular season. And yeah, he's looking to extend that streak today. Let's see if he can do it. He's currently second in the standing. Caracasa is, and Venum also doing very well as a debuter, standing at 2-2. And yeah, let's see how it goes today between the two of them. So Caracasa has a really weird trash team. I don't like it. Got this Darmanitan, which I'm not a fan of. It's got the Celesteela, which is actually, I've come around on Celesteela. It's not a bad mon. It's definitely cool. You can do a lot of things with it, but it's not the easiest thing to play in the world. So yeah, and Darmanitan just in general, it's so weak against rocks. Like you can't really run, or rarely you will run boots on it. He doesn't have good removal. I already see this. But on the other hand, Venum also doesn't really have rocks with him apart from this Blissey potentially. But yeah, we will see how it goes. The lead matchup definitely in Venum's favor in theory. But as you guys know, the league's rules, Electivire is Venum's signature and Clawitzer is also Caracasa's signature. So you can't really just fire off an electric type attack here because he is gonna Terra. Like if he's either gonna switch or he's gonna Terra, and like he could switch into Iron Hands. That's probably the safest play, which he is actually. That's what he will do, and yeah, at least he gets the Terra reveal here for the Electivire, which is a big deal always. He switches. Okay, switching into Gyarados. That's interesting to say the least. Wow, okay. So that's very interesting. It doesn't really have an electric resist with him apart from the Electivire, which is obviously immune. So I guess the Electivire is now immune to the dual stab at least of Iron Hands. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's what he's banking on, switching back into Evire now. But still, like if Caracasa has anything apart from the dual stab to hit this Evire, well, like I don't know if it gets knockoff. It looks like it might potentially get knockoff. That would be bad news because Evire still can't do anything to Iron Hands just because Iron Hands is a really big boy. So it's hard to do a lot of damage to it. But yeah, for now, I think Caracasa really has no reason not to just click the electric type attack here and see if Venum is stupid enough to stay in potentially. But yeah, as expected, he is switching right back to the Evire, which apparently is not something Caracasa anticipated, with him switching into the Celesteela here. He probably was like, why is this guy switching into Gyarados? That makes no sense. And he was wary. So yeah, he switches right back into the Iron Hands. Yeah, so Venum probably thought he would build this Evire to be an answer to the Iron Hand instead of the other way around. But I still believe this is not gonna go well whenever Caracasa like finds the courage to just stay in on it. Okay, now I have to open the door, unfortunately. We will resume this recording in a bit. All right, there we go. I am back. Oh, Caracasa is actually publicly Googling what motor drive does. So apparently he did not know what that does. Yeah, it is basically a form of volt absorb. I think it's exclusive to eWire, so it blocks all electric type attacks. Now that's unfortunate if you did not know that before the match. So yeah, that would also explain why he was so confused. So yeah, the eWire is completely warning the dual stab of Iron Hands now. Maybe Caracas, I didn't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. Let's see, what else did I miss? So Caracasa tried to volt switch there with the Iron Hands, and yeah, then got surprised by the eWire here. And now on the double switch, he gets the switch into Arcanine, which is, I guess, what he wanted. All right, so this Arcanine is out now. He gets to do something here. Like, the only thing he couldn't... Oh, this does a lot of damage, this Volt Switch. So this looks to be potentially offensive, this Arcanine. But yeah, the Gyarados... I mean, the Arcanine does get... Oh, first of all, it does get Will-O-Wisp, which is very annoying for the Gyarados. Then it also does get Wild Charge. So Gyarados is not a safe switch into Arcanine. Like, it might be depending on the set, but yeah, I mean, this is now just gonna lose, even though it looks like this might be a defensive Gyarados, and the defensive Gyarados would carry probably potentially Rest Sleek Talk. I'm not sure. I have to go to the door again. What the hell? Great, now I got to open the door for my girlfriend twice because her slow bum was unable to open the door the first time, which is honestly a skill issue in my opinion. But yeah, what did I miss? Not much. Caracasa decided to teleport on the second earthquake, so he's playing around Venum's team a little bit awkwardly in the beginning. Like, he's definitely got surprised by the Volt motor drive here. And yeah, it's just a little bit befuddled right now by this defensive combo of eWire and Gyarados, this unlikely defensive combo. But yeah, now he switches into the Celesteela. Oh, which promptly gets paralyzed by the Gyarados. This is definitely a defensive Gyarados. Very interesting. It might be Rest Sleep Talk as well, even though that would be less than ideal against this Celesteela. But yeah, at least he got a little bit of damage off on Caracasa did. So yeah, not much has happened here. The para, which looks to be a defensive Celesteela, is not the end of the world. Oh yeah. And this looks to be a specially offensive eWire, in which case it would not be able to do much to this Flygon. It needs Ice Punch to do anything to Flygon. So it probably has like a Terra Blast, Ghost, definitely, and probably T-Bolt as the last move. Oh, he just stays in. Interesting. Let's see. Like, in my opinion, well, what can he do here? It's a little bit awkward. He doesn't... Yeah, this is special, so... Oh, it does have Ice Punch. That's great news. Does not have Terra Blast? Question mark? Interesting. Terra Blast would be a great move in this matchup. Like, it's so spammable, especially if he's specially offensive, as that is Iron Hand's weaker defensive side. So it would make sense. No, it does not. It does have Earthquake instead. Oh, but Caracasa just decides to Volt Switch for whatever reason. So very interesting eWire set here, move-wise. I would have thought that Terra Blast Ghost makes so much sense here. but apparently that's not the case. At least Venum begs to differ. But yeah, Caracasa definitely expected him to switch out here, which did not happen. And yeah, now he has a fast E-Wire in front of him, and he loses. He had Earthquake this entire time. Well, yeah, that's what I figured. Now he pretty much sacked his Iron Hands through playing around this so awkwardly. But I mean, what does removing Iron Hands even do for Venum? I don't really see it because this Gyarados is defensive, so that was never, like, Iron Hands was never an issue for this Gyarados, which is also, by the way, just burned. I guess Hitmontop is like the other physical attacker, but like Intimidate Arcanine still handles that decently well because it also outspeeds any normal Hitmontop. So yeah, I don't really see what removing the Iron Hands really did for Venum now, but he definitely lost his Terra Captain. But then again, he does also have Blissey for the opposing Terra Captain, so that's probably also not going to be an issue, unless he's like the funny Terra fighting physical set, which I don't know if that is even possible, but it would be funny. All right, out comes the Delphox. So yeah, Caracasa should definitely just EQ here. Like, no reason to keep this Iron Hands and like let him set up a Calm Mind for free. That would not be ideal, in my opinion, at least. I mean, I guess if he wanted to be extra greedy, he could switch into... Oh, goes into... Why? Oh. Okay. Yeah, that... I don't know what to say. That I disagree with this play. Let's say that. He still goes into Blissey. Interesting. Maybe fears this being scarfed, which I guess it could potentially be scarfed, but it's like scarf thingy does nothing against Blissey. Like, that's not going to be a factor. I guess he wanted a very interesting decision to me. Like, why he did that. Now it's in range of Flamethrower. It cannot face off with the Stealthfox again unless it is scarfed, I guess. But this looks to be a lot of the... Oh, it was a crit. But I think even on a crit, that's a lot of damage to a Blissey. But maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, out comes Delphox again. It can just Flamethrower. Like, now he has to make the prediction, go into Flygon. Let's see. Yeah, and he predicts that. Like, this is all Caracasa's. I hate to criticize players. I wanted to not do that as much anymore. But like, why did you keep the Iron Hands? It does nothing, and all this only happened because of that. You could have, because the prediction right now just happened because he knew you kind of had to go expecting the Flamethrower because you can't just switch into Claw Wizard anymore. Then it's easier to predict the Flygon in that case. And yeah, that's what happened. And now you just lost your Flygon. And also you lost most of your Claw Witcher, which probably wouldn't have done much anyway. And what you have in return is a completely useless Iron Hands, which didn't do anything anymore. Which gets outsped by probably potentially even the Blissey, unless it's like running random speed. So it's not going to do anything anymore. And yeah, that was just not the play. But yeah, out comes the Darmanitan, which Darmanitan, I guess the defensive Gyarados is partly for it. Then you also got the Goldango. Having Gyarados is really nice just because it means that he can't really lock himself into Earthquake as easily as he could otherwise. So I guess it is definitely worth for Venum to keep Gyarados around just for that alone. So I guess Intimidate Hitmontop, if he has that, would be a safe mid ground here. Also, Caracasa doesn't have Fighting Resist, which is very nice for this Hitmontop to just spam the Fighting type attack. Oh, he does go into Gyarados. Now let's see. Okay, he goes into Arcanine. Interesting. Yeah. So once this Gyarados is gone, that's very good news for Caracasa because he then can just lock himself into Earthquake and do a lot of damage to Venum's team. But yeah, that's not the case as of right now. All right, but it might be the case soon if if Venum decides to let this Gyarados go down right now, which is not something I would do, honestly, because it's not like he doesn't have a switch into this Arcanine. Oh, but he does decide. Oh, but Caracasa doesn't take the opportunity. Well, let's see what happens. Goes into Clawitzer, which I guess can definitely. But he goes for flip turn. What the hell? Because he was expecting Blissey. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Venom is determined to let the Gyarados go down at the moment. Which, as I said, is not something, definitely not something I agree with, unless he has Air Balloon on the Goldengo. But even then, I would not do it. Because that's really your last line of defense against the EQ sweep. It's just simply... it's really just this Gyarados and a little bit of health on the Hitmontop. All right, but Gyarados is gone now. Let's see. It's hard to predict. So this is also probably Scarf, this Delphox. So that's something which can at least like revenge the Scarf Darmanitan. But it also has to. Oh, but Caracasa just sacked his last fire resist. Now he's just losing. Yeah, now Caracasa just loses to Scarf Flamethrower. I don't know. Yeah, he complains about the Willow Miss, but really that didn't matter because he just loses to Scarf Flamethrower now. There's nothing he can do about it. I don't know. What was he? That was, in my opinion, just... I don't know. I think I would have played it differently, maybe. I hope. But out comes Celesteela, which is paralyzed. He can just get off damage to ensure that Flamethrower always KOs this. But he doesn't do that. He elects to go into Goldengo as Caracasa gets fully paralyzed. That's just what Para will do to you. Very unfortunate. He is laughing at the chat. And yeah, this just goes for the Nasty Plot now. Will do a lot of damage to anything. He doesn't... for no reason decides to go for another Nasty Plot, which just meant that a potential crit could happen there. But the Select Berry was the reason for it. Yeah, this should be good game. No, actually, no. The Scarf thingy. Scarf thingy will still outspeed. But yeah, as I said, like Scarf Delphox had this game won. But the Celesteela turns out to be specially defensive, by the way, which means that it could have taken one Flamethrower, definitely. But the question is also what could it have done in return as he gets paralyzed again. He tried to move first, which means he click protect. It doesn't get priority. But yeah, so it was Leech Seed, Protect, Flamethrower, and something else. Probably couldn't really do much to Delphox anyway, so Delphox would have just melted through it eventually anyway. So yeah, Delphox, assuming it was Scarf, which it most definitely is, because it makes sense against Darmanitan, would have won this game once Caracasa let the Arcanine get this low. So yeah, I think not the best game, but Caracasa is an absolute animal generally. This is not even Scarf actually. So I guess that wasn't the win con anyway. Caracasa said I'd recommend the lottery. Well, that is the win for Venum, who moves on to be 3-2. Very, very good record here in top division, and also does what no person in the PGP 500 was able to do. He takes down Caracasa with a lot of para hacks here, but yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if anyone ever noticed, but this looks like a person's, like a Lego figure, the Goldengo. I think that's probably well-known fact, but I just discovered it for myself. All right. Yeah, congrats, Venum. Very well played. Very cool Select Berry Goldengo, which worked out for him here. But I think, as I said numerous times now, the Scarfed Delphox had it anyway. It wouldn't even have needed to be scarfed at this point because Caracasa had a really slow team. So the Flygon was likely the only thing that was scarfed. And yeah, that's also why he potentially stayed in there on the Dazzling Gleam earlier. So yeah, that would confirm that Delphox was indeed scarfed and would have won the game anyway. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Congrats, Venum, again, and see you guys next time.